Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show. Dose 2. We got 2 left. We're going to do 2 amazing ones here for you. We have the Wednesday crew in.
Are you the
really
cow?
looking forward to this. The young people. I'm working with the young people on the network today. A lot of people just have old people in their show, but I got the young people. I got the whole female co-host going. I got the youngest athletic probably the most athletic co-host we've ever had.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, thank
Probably the most athletic co-host we've ever had. Did you hear that, Troy? That's just for you, Troy Blevins. But yeah, we got a great show. We're going to have a lot of fun today, a lot of great things to talk about. And then tomorrow's going to be a knock it out of the park show. It's going to be super fun.
End it with a bang.
We're going to end it with a bang.
Awesome.
Yes. Paintball has been cleared for in here, so not sure what the cameras and the lights are going to look like when it's all done. It's kind of a small arena for paintball, but we're going to do it anyway.
Send help.
Send help. when I walk in with a paint gun, like Ari in Entourage,
Yeah.
you guys are all going to know.
So I
It's,
tried to stage a coup and get everyone to dress up like really fancy so that you just walked in like in your normal gear and we're all sitting here black tie.
Yeah.
Informal.
But somehow I couldn't get the rest of the guys to get on board with that.
I could have told you that's a really bad idea. A really, really, really bad idea. First of all, Pete being dressed up may or may not mean he's wearing a wig. So I just can't do that to him twice.
Yeah.
Once was enough. Leave the man
I was
be.
going to have a tuxedo t-shirt for you so you didn't feel left out, but nobody got on board with the joke.
Listen,
So there it is.
can you see Blake wearing a tie?
I tried.
I cannot.
I tried.
Well, that should be a fundraiser. Make Blake wear a tie. Raise X amount of dollars and make Blake wear a tie. I'm finding all kinds of cool things here. All right, we need to make a little bit of money.
Okay.
Powell Heating and Air Conditioning, they've been serving St. Augustine and St. Johns County for over 40 years. They are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including nights, weekends, and holidays. They're open all year long. And when they're working for you, they want to make sure you're confident about the care you're getting from the time you call them to the time they get to your house, to the time they fix your problem. They've got a fleet of over 10 trucks and a 15,000 square foot warehouse stocked with parts and equipment, and they are ready to serve you. As I said, around the clock, they service all heating and air conditioning brands. Give them a call, 904-794-2665. Powell has been amazing. They've been one of our longtime sponsors from day one. Powell Heating and Air was there, and they are going to continue on with Mr. Blevins.
Nice.
Which is awesome. I'm just going to give you this read, and you can just keep this one.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
You got
I
it.
appreciate that. Don't ever say Mike Davis didn't give me anything. Let's get real for a second. Finding a great dentist is like finding the perfect beach spot in St. Augustine. Rare, refreshing, and absolutely worth it. Enter Dr. Stephanie Kenzie and her team at Palencia Dental, where going to the dentist feels more like visiting a spa than sitting in that dreaded chair. Dr. Stephanie isn't your ordinary dentist. She's a community superstar. When she's not transforming smiles at Palencia Dental, she is singing her heart out in the village church choir or volunteering her time as director of dentistry at the Wildflower Clinic, providing dental care for those who need it most. This is someone who doesn't just care about your teeth, she cares about you. And let's talk about the experience at Palencia Dental. From the moment you walk in, you'll wonder if you accidentally booked a luxury retreat. Relaxing atmosphere? No.
Check.
State-of-the-art technology?
Check.
A dentist who can sing and make you laugh while crafting your perfect smile.
Check.
He did it. So why settle for just any dentist when you can have someone who's wildly talented, deeply caring, and 100% committed to your comfort? Visit PalenciaDental.com or call 904-826-4343 to book your appointment today.
All right. South State Bank. The team at South State Bank is a group of bankers you can count on. Their approach to building long-term relationships with customers is the best in the business. If you're looking for a banking relationship you can depend on, check out South State Bank. They've got 3 locations to serve you in St. Augustine. One at State Road 312, State Road 16, and over at the beach. Or you can visit their website at southstatebank.com. They're also a member of the FDIC.
Ooh.
All right, and Bozard Ford Lincoln and St. Augustine, their goal is to make sure your time and experience is fun and enjoyable, stress-free. Bozard Ford is a family-owned Ford dealership. They have been in business since 1949. And Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked the #1 automotive dealer in the nation by Dealer Rater. Go check them out at bozardford.com, or better yet, go out and see Letty, Bo, all the amazing staff that they have. Stop by the Ford's Garage, get that 904 Now Jiffy Burger.
Oop, oop.
They're absolutely amazing, great sponsors. They have been the sponsor of our community update for forever.
They have.
And apparently somebody's eventually going to name a studio after them.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Applin should happen. It 100% should. And speaking of the Bozard Ford community update, Task Force Hydro One, still looking for sponsors.
Yep.
May 3rd, so this Saturday is their event where they're going to do the open ocean paddle from Aunt Kate's all the way up to Hannah Park.
Yes.
They need all kinds of help. Some of their paddlers could use some money, so you need to go on and sign up. I need to do it. I haven't done it yet, and I need to throw some change at them. So I will get that done tonight. And then also May 10th, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, Surf Quest kicks off for this year. The legend Tim O'Neill will be down there giving lessons. Amanda has signed up for the first 7 surf lessons under Tim.
Tim doesn't want that heat. He doesn't want that heat at all. I'm a big lady to try and get standing up on a surfboard. That's not happening.
Yes. So no, 100%. And it's going to be great for both of those events. So good luck to all of them. Bozard Ford, thank you guys. Amazing sponsors.
I have an update on the Task Force Hydro One fundraiser.
Give it to us.
So when they were in studio, they were much further away. They're 70% of the way to their goal. They've got 31,446. Their goal is 45,000 so that they can pay off this event. So I'm going to drop that link in the comments. Everybody get on out there and support some veterans, support Task Force Hydro One, give some money.
Nice.
Yes. And in a sad bit of news, the site of the planned Children's Museum, so the Tag Museum has been sold.
Oh, no.
So they bought property off of Arapahoe, and they have sold that property, and this is all from an article in the Jacksonville Business Journal. A lot of really good people involved in that movement, and it's a shame that's had to happen. They bought the property in 2016 for $1.6 million, and according to the story, they sold it in April, which is this month, so just a couple of weeks ago, for $2 million.
Yeah.
So it's a shame that they did not get it going, because I thought it was a wonderful idea. Work with that group early on, and they were just an amazing group of people. So sorry that did not work out for them.
I'm super bummed. I was very excited about that museum.
You were looking forward to taking kids to the STEM museum, so you'd have to take them somewhere else.
Yeah.
It would have been very easy for you.
Yes, I would have. I was very excited when I heard that was coming to St. Augustine. I'm really bummed that it hasn't been able to get it across the finish line. Hopefully they can find another location.
I hope that they do. I hope that they do. As Darcy and I were talking the other day, this is a community that should be able to support an organization. I mean, we're big enough now that we should be able to do that.
Yes.
All right. You sent me a text message the other day that probably was the greatest text message I've received in months, weeks. And so
which I don't know, because you don't reply to any of my text messages.
I did.
Every now and again you mention them.
I typed absolutely, but I forgot to hit send.
Yeah.
So that kind of slowed me down a little bit in forgetting to hit send. Levi's going to give me a crash course on how to use this thing. I think it's called a smartphone, but he's going to give that to me, and we're going to help. Well, today I did we're going to get back to that meme, but today I was trying to send out some messages to people, and I had one message that was for one group of people and one message that was for another. I had typed them out, I proofed them, I did all the stuff. I hit copy and paste. Yeah. And I forgot to hit uncopy, right? I forgot to hit copy paste on the other one, so I was 2 messages into the wrong group. With the same message, and I was like, oh man, I got to fix that. So I did. I got it fixed. I got it cleaned up. It's all good. But yeah, I was laughing. Yeah, it was very funny. It was
all right.
Kind of like a boomer guy trying to use a computer.
One of these days.
Something else. So, but what I am looking forward to, because Amanda sent me, and I did mean to send you back. I did type absolutely. You sent the Netflix release date, which is early August, for Tremors.
Yes.
Starring Kevin Bacon, 8 episodes.
Please tell me you have watched Tremors, Levi.
Oh, it's my favorite childhood movie. I watched all the TV shows on AMC.
Good.
I watched all the Tremors sequels. I loved
Nice.
Tremors when I was a kid.
It's fantastic.
You were close to being fired if you said that.
I
would
love
hate to
Tremors.
fire somebody on their last day. but
I'm
it's
an
their
expert
day.
at Tremors. I can talk about it all
I'm
day.
glad.
I got to tell you that the first one I thought was phenomenal. I've watched bits and pieces. I think is there like 4 sequels now?
I think there was 3 movies and then there was a TV show.
Okay. I missed the TV show. And Kevin Bacon wasn't in any of
Nope.
The
Or the
3.
TV show.
He was not. He's been busy because he's on something else on Netflix or Prime where he's a bondsman.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
a
not
series.
sure
I haven't
the
watched
name
any of
but
it.
yeah.
I've not paid a bit of attention to it. But yeah, so for him to come back in Tremors, man, I'm hoping Fred Ward and some of those other guys. Is Reba still alive? Can Reba make an appearance?
And this is a TV show
yeah,
that's coming
she's
out?
still alive.
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's a streaming series, so I'm
Okay,
imagining
good.
an hour. So if you figure 8 hours, that's 4 movies they put together.
Yep. Nice.
Right? Because the movies
hopefully
today
it's
aren't that
good.
long. Yeah, I hope it's good. I hope it's really, really good. That was one of the funniest movies of all time.
It's a fantastic
I
movie.
got me an idea. That was just great. It was just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that was one of the couple of movies as a family. If it was on,
Mm-hmm.
you would text your family members
Oh, yeah.
or email them or call them. Tremors is on channel whatever. It's right now, and
Yeah.
everyone would start watching together collectively. It was awesome. So yeah, very excited about Kevin Bacon. And if you haven't watched Tremors, you need to watch Tremors. And the other show, and I've talked about it a couple of times, Black Snow.
Okay.
It's an
Heard
Australian.
about yellow snow, not black snow.
It's not that. Well, you always got to take us there.
Well, you know, it's what I do.
So it's Travis Finney, I think is how you pronounce his name. Or he was the lead. He played Ragnar in Vikings. So if you watched any of Vikings, which I thought the first couple seasons were great, and then I kind of lost interest like at season 4 or 5 when Ragnar was gone.
Yeah.
But he's a detective. He's got his own demons that he's fighting, but he finds missing persons. So cold cases.
Okay.
Okay.
And they had the first series was set. They did it in 2019. And so this is the second season. They finally come back. The great character, really cool. Watch the first episode. I think it's on AMC Plus.
Nice.
So you gotta wait. You can't stream it all at one time.
I'm really big into this new Paramount series. I think Paramount
If
does
you
a good
tell
job.
me Yellowstone.
No. It's new. It's called Mobland.
I watched the first episode and tapped out.
Did you? Why?
He's not a mob guy.
One. I'm
I
not a
love
mob.
crime stuff.
I'm
I
not a
love
mob
it.
guy, and just senseless violence just doesn't do much for me.
But it's not senseless.
It was. I thought the first episode, and it's the same. I love the movie The Gentleman, but they did a
TV show, which I thought was
streaming
great.
series. I couldn't get past first episode.
Oh, I loved it.
The
I love
first
streaming
episode
series.
was completely degrading to one character, and I'm like, I am not watching any more of this. And so Mobland, I kind of felt the same way. I wanted to love it because of who was in it. Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, and
Like,
Tom
it's
Hardy, right?
entertainment. Put your moral high ground to the side.
I can't.
Come on.
I can't. It's impossible.
But no, I like Mobland or Mobland. It's really good. I think it's really good, at least.
What is it? 6-8 episodes?
They're on episode 5 just finished.
Okay.
So I just really like Tom Hardy.
I think Tom Hardy's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think he's a really fun actor to watch. Have you seen? Are you watching? It's Last of Us, which is based on the video game?
No, I don't watch Last of Us, but I heard the show on HBO is really good.
Season 1 was great. Season 2, the first episode was a little slow. The second episode, I was like, "What just happened?"
Same with Fallout.
It's like-
Fallout's supposedly really good too. That's based on a video game.
I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to drop any spoilers. But if you played the video game, you know what happened. I
Yeah.
didn't play the video game, so I didn't know what happened, and I was like, "What?" It was like all the people that read the comic books in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You know, like Negan shows up with a bat. Glenn's gonna get it. That better not be a spoiler alert for you guys too. Glenn's gonna get right, and they all know, and they're like, I just had to like shut myself off from social media like 2 or 3 days before the episode was hit, and then of course they're all the ones crying when Glenn got killed,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like,
You guys knew it was going to happen.
you knew it was gonna happen. You watch. I didn't know it was gonna happen. I was kind of shocked, and I'm disappointed. I feel sorry for Maggie, but okay, let's go. What's next?
Yeah.
How do they get out of this? Let's
Yeah.
go. So
Last of Us is the exact same.
Mhm.
I've heard the storyline for the game is incredible, and I'm sure that the TV show follows it the exact same. But if I watched all the TV shows I wanted to watch, I'd get nothing done.
I don't watch that many. I mean, it's really thick. I've given up on a lot of it. And if I have like 1 or 2 a week I watch, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get excited about Andor, and I don't know if I can get excited about Andor.
I don't even know what that is.
Andor is the prequel to Rogue One.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I've seen the previews for it. Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I boycotted Disney. Can't watch it.
why did you boycott Disney? Do they not share the same American values that you have?
No, not at all.
Okay, that's all right. Just easy question, easy answer, right?
After Bob Iger attacked Elon, I was like, yeah, I'm done with you, buddy.
I'm of a mode where there's a couple of streaming services we're on, and somebody in the family gets it, and then the rest of us kind of
chime in.
We're like friends of family or family, and so that one is somebody else's. And I watch that again.
Yeah,
I watch it, but I haven't watched a lot of Disney, and there hasn't been a good Marvel movie in a while, so it's kind of like, I get to it when I get to it.
Yep, exactly.
I tried to watch Skeleton Crew, and I just lost it at that. I was like, nah, I can't do that.
I literally got Disney just so I could watch the Marvel series, and then
it went bad.
Once I had watched every single one all the way to Endgame again in historical timeline, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I thought they had it really going on, and then they did, and Endgame was phenomenal. Getting to that point, and then the Spider-Man movie, Far From Home. No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yep.
Absolutely amazing. Yep. All the Spider-Man. I thought that was cool, and then after that, they're like, okay, we ran out of ideas.
I liked the second Doctor Strange. I like Black Widow. I like all those ones that came before Endgame. Again, the historical timeline.
Okay.
Or chronological timeline, I should say.
Yeah, it was kind of like, okay. The stuff after Endgame has been, it's not so good.
Yeah.
I noped out at Endgame. I noped out at Endgame.
Yeah, because what can you do after that?
I was just, we're good.
We're good.
I don't need to give you any more of my money. I saw the completion of the story. We're good. If
27 movies, I'm done.
Then I'm just going to get roped into another timeline, and I don't have that time or that budget.
One of my sons said, after 27 superhero movies, I kind of think I know how they're going to end.
Yeah.
Kind of got it figured out. It's like, I'm good. I don't need to see that anymore. I'm fine. How are the Braves doing? How are we doing?
I don't know. Let me check.
Check on the Braves for me.
So while you're checking on that, I had the immense pleasure of having lunch with Robin and Rebecca and Robin's friend, Pat.
Yep.
Robin's friend. And so we were at Augie's Pizza today. We had an amazing lunch. It was so good. Hi, Robin. She's watching. So I've got candy.
Oh, these are...
Robin brought it for you. So cool. I've got wild huckleberry chocolate for you, sir.
I love it.
Robin,
thank you.
And then I've got huckleberry taffy.
Thank you.
She gave me a big bag, so I decided to share with you. So
awesome.
Lovely treats from the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I tried to make it, but I had a meeting at 11.
Yeah.
That ran until 1. And then I had planning and zoning at 1:30. So when you said lunch, my stomach just growled.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like Levi, who's on a intentional fast. I got a banana and some blueberries and yogurt as I walked out of the door. That was my meal.
Maeve was there too, and she gave me an adorable bear picture that is now in my kitchen. So very fun lunch.
Awesome.
Augie's Pizza, always delicious. We got to see Blake. He came in to pick up his lunch. He got it to go though. So
Augie's Pizza?
He saw a table full of 904 ladies and was like, bye ladies.
I've never even heard of Augie's Pizza. I got to try it out.
Yeah, it's over by the vape shop right next to the Flagler bookstore.
Let me put this in context before you moved here. Okay. Peterson's.
Never had Peterson's.
I don't know what to do with you kids. I'm working with little kids.
Dude, so
I'm working with little kids.
I'm a Carmelo's. Original Pizzali's. And what's my other favorite?
What year were you born?
1990. I wish it was 2000.
Yeah.
Peterson's was still there. Did your parents not take you to Peterson's as a child?
No, they didn't take me to Peterson's. We had Domino's by the house, and we had Hungry Howie's after baseball.
You tell your mom that is child abuse.
Yeah, Peterson's and donuts.
Peterson's is the most amazing. You tell your mom that is just wrong. That is wrong.
The way your mom's gonna call and tell my coffee.
But out of those like chain pizzas, Papa John's is my favorite. Oh, good Papa John's pizza. Oh yeah. Some garlic on it. Oh yeah, some of that garlic dipping
They
sauce.
stole Papa John's from Papa John. You're
It's
fine
like
with
your
that?
mom not telling you we're the oldest city in the nation by not taking you to
wow.
Peterson's. I'm
never
trying
been
to
to-
figure this out.
Man, gauntlet
Never even heard of
thrown.
it.
Wow.
Cheese wheel though.
Man.
They took me to Cheese wheel a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We had the wheel on last night.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Nice.
they were wonderful.
They're fantastic.
Andrew
Yeah.
and Tony were awesome.
It's a great show.
They were just amazing. They were really, really cool. You could just tell how much they loved doing what they were doing, and they were truly enjoying continuing a family legacy, and it was just fun to see that.
Yeah.
It was just awesome.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
I'm
All right.
bummed. Tim wanted us to get young Troy on to talk about how he's healing and how he's moving forward, but we're not going to be able to get him in. Sorry.
But I would love to have
Morning
had
show.
him on.
I'm sure we could pick you in on the morning show.
I would love to. I
Yeah.
met him at church one day,
Mhm.
and we were just sitting and talking, and I did not realize he was young Troy
Yeah.
until we were 10 minutes into the conversation.
Mhm.
What a great guy.
He is a great guy.
Just a great guy.
Yep.
Yeah, everything they said about him was underselling. He was just a really
He's-
good
yeah,
guy.
he's
He
a
was
really
just
great guy.
awesome. Just like, man,
Yep.
this guy's good.
He has a pretty amazing fiance too.
She was pretty nice too. Darcy was talking to her. I wasn't. I was just talking to him. But yeah, it was really nice. He ended up sitting right next to us at church. So it was really cool.
Yep.
And didn't get to know till after church who he was. But yeah,
Mhm.
really, really nice guy.
And
Very happy for him.
and
Recovery's going good.
the Braves lost.
What?
Yeah, they lost. They lost. Unfortunate, my friend.
We needed that win to get the 500.
We did.
Now I'm going to give you need to watch this because you're a betting man.
Okay.
So I'm not sure this is going to recreate itself, but about 2-3 years ago when the Braves won, what was it, 3 years ago they won the title?
3 years ago, maybe
Right.
4.
So whatever it was that year that if they, right now they're 13 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell you to put money on them winning their next game, which is the Dodgers,
Okay.
that I don't know what's going to happen the next game. Because every time they got to one game away from getting to 500, they would lose that game.
Yep.
But if they were 2 games away,
They'd win.
they would win. And they went on this run. And I told my son Reese, I said, just put a little bit of money on them and keep it on them based on these stats. Like 2 weeks later, he comes to me. He's like, Dad, all of my friends think you're some kind of genius betting guy because you figured this Braves thing out. And I'm like, I'm just telling you, I've been watching them for weeks. This is how they go. Occasionally, they might win 2 or lose 2. But I said, they're just every single day, this is how it's going. And sure enough, he's like, Dad, I made more money off that bet. He said, that was the coolest bet. So just
I love a
watch some
good
more.
baseball trend.
Yep.
2021 was the last time the Braves won the title.
So 4
Yep.
years ago. We're due.
I remember they were playing in the World Series. I was throwing some kind of party. I don't know. I would throw parties all the time for random things.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, is the Braves game going to be on? I was like, of course. And they went into that World Series game and just absolutely hit like 6 bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great.
Yeah.
We were all cheering, drinking.
Well,
Good
they got
time.
robbed the year before. They
did
got
get
robbed in the COVID year against the Dodgers. They had the Dodgers beat. And there were a couple of questionable strike calls and a couple
Yep.
of bad calls. And you just knew like TV wanted the Dodgers to win it, not the
Yep,
Braves. It was
yep.
very frustrating.
Yeah.
And I think the Dodgers lost that year, right?
They might have lost. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they might have lost that year. So
No,
anyway,
they won it that year. They
Did they
won
win
it. They won it that year.
Okay, you're right. They did. You're right.
Bobby says, as of April 26th, the Jumbo Shrimp are in first place.
Nice.
Hey, Bobby.
I need to go to a Jumbo Shrimp game. I haven't been to one in a minute.
When you do, let Bobby know.
Let Bobby
He'll come
know.
and say
He
hi
will
to
meet you there. I think he's
Yeah.
got VIP seating. I think he's
Nice.
got his own box and club seats
He
and everything.
must.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. If you see a red carpet going somewhere, that's Bobby's.
Yeah.
That's Bobby's box. Just follow
Okay,
that.
cool.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
Tell him go Navy.
I'll take my godson.
You are just throwing it today.
I took an ice bath before I
Tell
got
him
here.
go Nate. Bobby, that was not me. I've said some inappropriate things, Bobby, but that was not
You know
me.
why? You know why? Because he tagged me in his little like college North Carolina team's fan
Oh.
page. And now I've got like this invitation and all these notifications for the Wolf Pack. So go Navy, Bobby.
Amanda loves Clemson. That
I
is
can tell.
hence the oh, that was too funny. Let's do NHL playoffs first. NHL, the Lightning are about to just fizzle out.
Yeah.
They were up 2-1 2 nights ago,
Uh-huh.
and then gave up 3 goals and
In
lost
2
4
minutes.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it was just. I turned it because we were watching Black Snow, and I turned it, and I came back when there was a commercial was on, and I was like, oh.
I'm a
that-
Panthers fan. If I had to choose, I would choose Panthers.
No, I'm a Lightning guy. I mean, I'm okay with a Florida team winning.
They probably lose. I mean, the Panthers have a good shot to win it all again this year, but the Lightning probably lose tonight.
I just don't want to see a Canadian team with the trophy.
Oh, like the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I just don't want to see a Canadian team. I don't want to have to hear that. We need an American team to have that. So I'm good with that. NBA playoffs.
Yep.
Amanda, who do you have tonight in the NBA playoffs?
She doesn't even know who's
The
playing.
winning team.
There you go. Smart. The winning team wins 100% of the time. So
100%.
I heard the winning team wins 50% of the time. I got to get my stats straight. So Lakers played. They're down 3-1
Yep.
to the Timberwolves.
They've lost the 3 games by a total of like 7 points.
I thought they got blown out in one of the games.
Oh, wait. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Detroit Knicks series, which has been phenomenal, by the way.
Yep.
The Detroit Knicks series has been absolutely phenomenal.
Yep.
But yeah, the Lakers got blown out the first game, turned around and blew out the Timberwolves the next game, and then lost by 2, and then lost by 5, something like that in Minnesota.
Wait a minute. Barbara Jean, I got to correct you. And it hurts that I have to correct you. It was not 1981 that your Twins won it last. It was 1991. When Kirby Puckett or Herb Street, was it Herb, whatever the guy started with an H, Herbert, something like that. He was the first baseman for your team, lifted our guy's leg off the base and called them out.
Yep.
It was a
91.
horrible. It's 1991.
Against the Braves.
I'm still in therapy, Barbara Jean, and you just brought it up. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so
Salt on the
much.
wound.
But yeah, the Lakers
Yeah,
can come
Lakers
back.
trouble.
They can come back and win the series. They have to stop playing one-on-one basketball with their superstars and start playing team basketball, which is what got them to 3rd place in the West to begin with. They are undersized. Minnesota's a bad matchup for them size-wise. And, they've got to just play as a team. If they play as a team, they can win the game. But their offensive sets look horrible. I'm actually very shocked that JJ hasn't made adjustments. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it'd be horrible for the Lakers to lose tonight. It would ruin my playoffs.
It would ruin your playoffs.
It would. It
It's
would.
going to ruin the world tour.
But for their future,
For their future,
they're
good.
on the top 5 list for Giannis to go to.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So you would have Giannis, an aged LeBron James, and Luka.
Yep.
That'd be a heck of a team.
Yeah.
Will the NBA allow that trade?
The NBA would allow it. Yeah.
Okay.
The NBA would allow it. LeBron's got 1, maybe 2 years left, but I think 1 for sure.
He's an amazing athlete.
And he's still, the crazy stat I saw last night, he leads the playoffs for NBA players in defensive rating. He's the number 1 defender rating wise in the playoffs so far at 40 years old.
Wow.
That's a crazy stat.
That is an amazing stat.
Yeah.
Rockets, which were they were the 1 or 2 seed, right?
They were the 2 seed,
And they are on the verge of elimination to the Warriors.
but they're playing at home. Give me the Rockets and the Lakers. Parlay them together for plus odds. Give me them both winning tonight. Yeah, Rockets and Lakers both win tonight.
When you guys say parlay, all I can think about is
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the
Yeah.
parlay. And my boy's like, oh, we got this parlay going on.
I'd like to invoke a parlay.
Parlay.
If anyone even thinks the word parlay, I'll have your guts for goddess.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, parlay them together. Both home teams win. We see a game 6 in both those games. And I think that Detroit is going to come back and beat the Knicks. They were robbed on Saturday, which was 2 games ago.
Yep.
One of the worst calls I've seen in basketball in the playoffs in history of the NBA.
Yeah.
They're down 1. They have the ball. Rolls out to the corner to Tim Hardaway Jr., their top 3-point shooter.
Yep.
And he pump fakes and then goes to shoot the 3 with, the time's expiring. The defender jumps into his shooting arm so bad that his elbow goes in like this and the shot goes sideways like that. No call. And it's because the game was in New York, and it's because New York, for domestic market wise for viewership, is the biggest viewership for the NBA, which struggles domestically. They're a bigger international product than they are domestically.
Yeah.
And the NBA wants New York to stay in the playoffs. I guarantee you, because even last night when they played, Detroit had to beat the refs again to win the game.
Good gracious.
So,
I blame Spike Lee.
Yeah, he
I
has.
blame Spike Lee.
And Detroit's young. They're gritty. It has been that series has looked like a 90s basketball series. Just hard fouls, blood. They look like the bad boy Detroit that used to beat the crap out of Jordan.
They beat up everybody. They didn't just
It's
beat Jordan. They
good.
beat up Bird.
They beat up
Jordan,
everyone.
They beat
Yep.
up everybody.
That's what kind of grit this team plays with, and I think they can come back and beat New York. New York's beaten up from the series. So,
All right. Switch gears to NFL.
okay.
Shador. Thank you. I knew
Yep.
there was a D in there. Shador Sanders. I'm the only one that can spell his name. Apparently, a lot of GMs couldn't either.
Yep.
But I mean, comments on him falling at where he fell in the draft. Ends up at Cleveland. There's 5 QBs in the, so he's not
Horrible
staying
place.
there. It's a horrible place for him to be for
Yep.
2 reasons. One, it's Cleveland.
Yep.
And there's 5 QBs.
Yep.
Another one they took in the first round, right?
Yep.
Gabriel.
Yeah, the fact that the Jags had a chance to get Shador in the later rounds for next to nothing, just to put a little pressure on Trevor, makes no sense why they didn't take him. I mean, you get Travis Hunter's quarterback, the guy he's played with for the past 4 years, and they have great chemistry, and you put pressure on Trevor. And
so if you really want him, if you want Sanders, do you just wait for the Cleveland Browns to release him and then you pick him up?
you can.
I mean, because that's what's going to happen. They're not going to keep him.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought he was overrated going in to the draft. It doesn't shock me that he fell. It shocks me that he fell that far, but not that he fell.
It took me a minute to realize I was watching live and not draft day. I thought I was watching draft day with Kevin.
Yeah. Well, he didn't do a pro day, which hurt him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, like, when you look at film, he doesn't throw a good deep ball. And his coverage reading is questionable. He relied on his legs to extend the play a lot. Now, grant the fact he was at a smaller school and didn't have that much of an offensive line. But the NFL is a different monster. So if you can't read coverages and get the ball out in less than 3 seconds,
it's also a place where, in my opinion, they're all a bunch of lemmings, right? If everybody wanted one guy, like if 2 or 3 teams said, we want Levi, they all are, we gotta have Levi. If one guy says, I don't know about Levi, and then the rest of them are like, wait a minute, what does he know that we don't know? We can't touch him.
That happens.
They are a group mentality. If one guy decides as a coach, well, we're going to play prevent defense and this is how we're going to win game, they all play the same they all do the same thing, which is, in my opinion, why a lot of times NFL games during the season are just boring anymore because nobody takes a chance on anything.
Yeah.
Nobody goes for it.
Yeah, I mean, the NFL's tough, right? The NFL draft, I think, is probably the hardest sport for management to draft players in. 1, they're getting massive contracts if you draft them high. 2, the success rate of high draft picks, like panning out and being some superstar, isn't usually that high. It's usually someone that's drafted in the 5th round that sits behind someone, especially from the quarterback position.
Yes.
So, taking high draft picks in the NFL is a gamble. And the NFL draft is tough. It's a tough business. They're spending a lot of money, and guys get hurt a lot in the NFL, and it's not easy to make it in the NFL. I mean, the average lifespan of an NFL player that gets drafted is 3 years.
That's crazy.
So
our favorite Marine, Bobby, wants to ask a question. LeBron James, is he a better stage dad than Deion Sanders?
Yes.
Yes.
Dad wise, yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Oh, that's harsh.
Well, here's
harsh,
the thing,
man.
I mean,
It's a great question, and it doesn't matter how you answer
by
it.
stage dad, you mean in the spotlight, like better spotlight dad?
No, I mean bringing your kid up through the industry, through the ranks that they're in. So,
well, yeah. I mean, I think he is, because if you remove LeBron from the situation and you look at Bronny's numbers in the G League as a 2-way player, he was one of the top 5 2-way players in the NBA this year.
Okay.
So the kid averaged almost 30 points a game in the G League. He shot the 3 ball from a very good percentage. In his NBA games, he shot the ball better for a rookie than Michael Jordan did from the 3-point line. So, I mean, there's no question that Bronny belongs in the NBA. Does he belong in the starting lineup? No. Did he start? No. Did he play minimal minutes? Yes. I think that they handled that really well. And the kid belongs in the NBA. Okay. Did he deserve a guaranteed contract that the Lakers gave him? Probably not. He probably needed to work his way up, kind of like a Gary Payton Jr. did or someone like that. But, when you are the face of the NBA for 20 plus years, you get a little bit of pull, and that's just how it goes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business.
Yeah.
So that made the NBA money. That made the Lakers money.
Yeah.
It did. Absolutely. All right. So were you happy with the Jaguars picks?
Yeah, they did all right. So here's my thing. I'm not a Travis Hunter fan. I'm not sold on him.
Okay.
So
you're the guy that wrote the article that the Jags wasted a pick.
I did not write that article, but I would agree. We will see. I'm not going to agree that it's a wasted pick. We will see.
Yeah.
The kid's a freak athlete. He's small. He's like 190 pounds, and playing corner.
That's tiny.
Playing corner against today's receivers is very tough when you're tiny. He claims he's made it publicly known that he wants to play on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
That's very difficult to do in today's NFL. So yeah, can you put him in some packages? But I'm not sold on him being this lockdown corner.
Is he the wide out receiver or is he a slot receiver?
A slot.
Okay.
A slot.
Because when you said 190, I immediately started thinking of Edelman and Wes Walker. Welker and those
well, he's
guys.
taller than them. So he's a string bean.
Okay.
And they can put weight on him for sure. But is that going to slow down his athleticism? Who knows? And does he have the work ethic? Who knows? Like,
I never had athleticism, so putting on weight, I didn't notice it.
He was the number one recruit out of high school in the entire country. Went to a small school in Jackson State. Never really has showed up against massive, massive talent. Didn't play in the SEC. So we don't know what he's going to do in the NFL. I want him to be good, but I mean, we'll see. I'm not sold on him yet.
When does the schedule come out?
I don't know.
I thought the schedule was like next week or something.
It could be.
Amanda, look up when the schedule comes out.
Okay.
That's spelled NFL.
The Jaguar schedule?
Yeah, but the NFL will have a release date when all the schedules drop. Okay.
However, the Falcons had a great draft.
Who did the Falcons get?
The Falcons took, I don't remember their names, but they took
well, that was a great draft.
They took Jalen Carter.
Okay.
Who's a nose tackle.
Okay.
Right? D tackle.
Chris Carter has a son that's a nose. I'm just kidding.
Which was a weak spot for them. The pass rush was a weak spot. So that was one of their biggest weak spots on defense. And then their next pick, they traded up for another pick and they took the number one edge rusher in the draft. So they turned their weakest spot on defense into a potential like highlight reel spot.
Yes.
So if they can get pressure on the quarterback and, if Penix can kind of run the ball how he did at Washington and not try to be such a pocket passer, lose a little bit of weight, in my opinion, before he turns into Donovan McNabb, a poor man's Donovan McNabb, they have a chance. So we'll see. Those are my two teams, Falcons and Jags.
Falcons and Jags. I've always I'll read for the Bucks every once in a while. I'm a Florida guy.
I like Baker.
And I got to tell you, I loved New England when Brady was there. It was just fun to watch him be so good at what he did.
I liked Green Bay when Aaron Rodgers was there.
Yep. And is Rodgers going anywhere? One of the teams, he wanted to go to Minnesota, and there was a Minnesota? Yeah, because J.J. McCarthy's there. And they kind of shut the door on Rodgers, right?
He needs to hang it up.
Okay.
Coming back from an Achilles at that age is so tough, man. Like, you were a top 3 quarterback all time. People have made arguments for you to be the greatest passing QB of all time. Like, just take your accolades and dip out, man. You don't need to keep playing.
People need to learn how to retire.
Unless you're LeBron.
Right now.
Unless you're LeBron.
Learn how to walk away when you're on top of your game.
Unless you're
Don't
LeBron.
wait until you're scraping the bottom
He's
of the
talking
barrel.
about himself right now, just so you know.
No. I think in the workforce you should never retire. I don't think. I think if you look at the
shaming him.
Listen, if you look at the
death rates.
Yeah, I didn't want to say death rates. It's called something else, but
mortality.
Yeah, mortality rates. Yeah. Once you retire, like, it's bad. You have to have purpose. So
there was I had to send it to Darcy the other day. There was
because people that retire look for a new project to work on.
Well, it was talking about men. If you're a man and you're the most dangerous year for you, like after 60, is the year you retire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, and they don't know why yet, right? Because they're trying to figure out, is it that men just work until they're almost dead?
No.
Is it that
it's
they don't
purpose.
have something else to do? They lose their purpose?
It's 100% what it is.
One guy said, is it the fact that they go home to a nagging wife? I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are throwing everything into this. But it said the most dangerous year is the year a man retires.
Yep.
And I agree with a lot of what Levi just said. If you want to wear out, you don't want to rust out. And if you retire and your idea is I'm going to sit and watch TV all day, your body is quickly going to decline.
100%.
It is not going to do the things you want it to do.
On that note, the
Which is stay
NFL
alive.
releases its schedule on May 14th.
May 14th. Okay.
Yeah.
May 14th. Got it.
So Barbara Jean had a request. She wanted one more stripper story before the end of the Mike Lewis show.
Stripper story?
Before the end of the Mike Lewis
So
show.
I found quite possibly the best stripper story for
Some
Barbara
people
Jean.
say the best ever.
The
stripper
best
story.
ever. Yes.
You want to run it?
Sure.
Let it roll.
So it's a risk because it's a viral video. So here you go.
Oh my goodness.
Barbara Jean's most perfect stripper story. And that is a girl is practicing on the pole and her cat decides that she can pole dance just as well as her
I
mama.
think I read this story. I think it showed up in my algorithm because I'm friends with Barbara Jean. Oh,
It's
my
a
God.
purple pole with a cat
Oh gosh.
dancing on it.
Well, we
there
got-
you go, Barbara Jean.
Yeah, all I got is us. I didn't. Levi and I didn't see the video.
We never saw the
So
video.
we
yeah.
never saw the video. We're watching that.
Well,
Look,
there it is.
there it is. Okay, there we go. Oh boy. Oh wow.
Nice.
Wow. That is such a talented
Hey,
cat.
That cat's got jumps.
Pole dancing isn't necessarily stripping. There's a lot of, it's a good workout. I've heard.
It is a stripper pole. Yes.
I've heard. I've heard it's a good workout.
Your mom's watching the show.
I haven't
Your mom's
participated
watching
in
the
pole dancing
show.
class,
Yes.
but I see the TikTok workout programs
These
for it.
are athletes for sure.
Yeah.
It's a very intense physical activity.
I don't do strip clubs. I've never liked strip clubs, or I've never let's go to the strip club.
Yeah.
It's not a thing for me.
It's not your first choice.
Not my forte.
No.
I would much rather go to a concert or a cigar bar. That's
Yeah.
my shtick.
Yeah.
Right there.
Your shtick.
Yeah.
I think I sit in the backyard, watch the sun go down, and have a bourbon.
That's great, too.
I'm just let me do that. No, when I was younger, that was a thing. Everybody would get together. We had one guy who organized everybody's bachelor party, and he was like the last guy to get married.
Yeah.
So when we went to his bachelor party, it was like everybody was married. I mean, we're down at a club in Tampa, and I swear to you, everybody's in the bus because they're all married. And there's like a couple of guys. I'm just going to go in and check on it. And it's like, yeah, go ahead, whatever. But we're good.
Well,
We're
my
right here.
my girlfriend deemed that strip clubs is a form of cheating.
Yeah.
So that also, I guess, kind of X's them out. But I've never desired to go to one anyways.
Yeah. So have you ever been?
I have been.
Yeah.
I've been to strip clubs before. And
We know Mike has.
And I just eat the wings.
You just eat
I just eat the wings.
Yeah.
So the question is, has Amanda gone?
I have. I've been to one strip club in Daytona because I was
Lollipops?
I don't know what it was called. I was at a Edwin McCain concert and with a friend of mine, and she had these two guys that she was interested in one of them. And so they were like buying us drinks and stuff. And they were like, oh man, we need to go to a strip club. And I nonchalantly say, well, I've never been. Well, we're taking you. So that was like the mission. So I got in for free. They bought me a lap dance. The lady's name was Angel. And I know that because she said, if you forget my name, it's written on my G-string. And showed me. And so, yeah, I have been to a strip club once and received one lap dance. And then we left promptly after that.
Levi get a kick out of this. Darcy and I are down in Orlando. The boys had played in a basketball Christmas tournament. And the boys were going home. I'm like, hey, we're just going to stay the night. We'll get some food here. We'll go hang out in Orlando, do some shopping on Saturday. Right. And so it was back when not every restaurant had their information online. Some of them did, some didn't. You were kind of taking your chances.
Yeah.
So we pulled up one, and we GPS drives us to this hole in the wall nowhere that's closed. We look at another one that's not the steakhouse. It's not too far away. It just says Rachel's Steakhouse. And I'm like, okay, well, we're on it. And I'm like, for some reason, I've heard of this place. I can't remember why I've heard of this place, but for some reason, I've heard of this place. So as we pull up, the alarm bells start to go off in my head because there's not a window on the building, right? And there's three big monkeys. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, right? Statues in front. And I'm like, I got a bad feeling about this. And Darcy's like, wait, I have to change my shoes. We're going into a steakhouse. I can't wear these shoes. So we walk up to the door. You can hear the music thumping. I'm like, this is not going to, I said this. And so, of course, it's exactly what I fear that it is.
Yes.
It's a steakhouse attached to a strip club. And so we leave. We don't go. And I looked at Darcy and back to truck. I said, I don't think the shoes mattered. I think you could have wore whatever you wanted.
That's pretty funny.
She could have changed her shoes inside the steakhouse, and then she would have been like matching the theme.
No, yeah, it was just so funny. We ended up at Sam Snead's that night. We did.
Yeah.
We had to drive all over Orlando to find some place that was open.
Yeah.
To find a Sam Snead. So yeah, it was just hilarious. Because now today you can look up anything. They tell you exactly who's open. They tell you what's on the menu. Back then it was like a hit miss thing if you could find the right place.
For sure.
So, yeah. Plus I'm old trying to use the phone.
So he's telling Louis and me that story at a steak dinner one night. And as soon as he mentions the place, my husband grew up in Orlando. He's like, I know where this is going.
Yeah, it's like
That's funny.
No, it was one. And Reese, I guess, who somehow managed to DM them or something on some social media. Tell your parents to come back. We've got great steaks. Right?
That's
awesome.
funny.
Like,
If you do, I want to go just so I can see Darcy eating
oh
a
no,
steak.
she was having none. Well, the steakhouse is on one side, the
Okay.
pub's on the other side, but no, it was still
Never the twain shall meet.
no, it was not a good. It was like the old they had the Cafe Risque here in town.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh yeah, I went there and the food was great. I'm like, you ate it? It's like,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
The owner or the manager was always trying to recruit the Marineland trainers
Really?
because she assumed we were comfortable with in various states of undress because we walked around a tourist attraction in bathing suits.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was constantly trying to recruit the Marineland trainers. And while I worked there,
Yeah.
none of us took her up on the offer. That doesn't mean that no dolphin trainer from Marineland ever did, because I have heard stories, but none of us did.
Okay, so I have a question for the group.
All right.
Mhm. Fire away.
This is another animal question.
Okay.
Okay. This has been going viral for the past
I told you about this yesterday.
48
Amanda
hours.
gave me a preview of this question.
Do you know what it is?
The 100 guys versus a gorilla.
100 grown men versus a gorilla.
Yeah. So here's my question. You argue that a gorilla can take out a grizzly bear, but I've never seen anyone.
argued that a gorilla
No,
could take
you
out
argue that a grizzly bear could take out a
100%,
gorilla.
and I stand by that.
But I've never seen anyone argue that it would take 100 men to take out a grizzly bear.
So here's the thing. I have the answer, by the way, to the question
I'm
from the like top animal expert, one of the top
All
animal
right.
experts in the world that's been on Joe Rogan and stuff. I follow him on Instagram. He has a great Instagram. But I just want to know what your guys' thoughts are on it. What y'all's thoughts are. Can 100 men, 100 regular sized men, so we'll say they're 5'10",
If
100
they're dedicated enough.
180 pounds, right? Could they take out a full-blown male silverback gorilla?
I think they could, because they could coordinate. I mean, if they're trying to one-on-one in a single file line, then that's going to be ugly. But if they're coordinating, you can exhaust an animal. You can work together, seize an arm. Like there's ways that you could do this.
Answer?
So it's not 100 people or 100 men against a gorilla, right? So it's like 5 or 6 against the gorilla at one time. Because you can't get 100 people to get their hands on the gorilla at one time. So the gorilla has an advantage of it's stronger than 4 or 5 men. So the question is, can a couple of them hold part of them down long enough for other guys to kind of pile on? But the gorilla's going to take out a good chunk of those men.
Okay.
You can't get that many people on at one time. And if you did, if all 100 jumped on the gorilla at once, you're going to lose about 50 of the guys to suffocation along with the gorilla. It's a fighting kind of concept where you don't have that much room to grab them.
Okay, so I'm going to give you my 2 favorite answers that came from this. One's
Yeah.
going to be from the expert that gave a very logical, reasonable answer, scientific answer. The other one's from Conor McGregor.
Okay.
Conor McGregor said he could take on 100 gorillas.
Of
Okay.
course he did.
Okay, so
But
that's
he
Conor.
can't get elected PM in Ireland.
That's Conor McGregor's
No.
answer. Okay,
But he does have a good Irish whiskey.
from I want to get this guy's name right, so let me look him up real quick so people can do their research on him to know that I'm not just.
While you're looking that up, I got an email from Ricky from Task Force Hydra 1. They are looking for support boats. They had 2 support boats drop out.
Oh boy.
So now they need 2 support boats that are ocean capable, that can hold 4 to 6 people, that can travel from St. Augustine to Mayport on Saturday. If you are interested, please email mission50@taskforcehydra1.org. That they really need these support boats. So please, if you have a boat, check them out.
You got a boat, you want to help some veterans, you want to see something really cool. Yep.
Okay, so the gentleman's first name is Forrest.
Gump?
No, not Forrest Gump. His name's Forrest. For some reason I can't think of his last name, but you can look him up. He's been on Joe Rogan several times. He's done he's walked across Antarctica. He's gone to the Amazon and found some of the biggest anacondas. He's worked in India, saved elephants, all this. So his explanation actually made sense. He said, gorillas have extreme amounts of strength and energy in short bursts. So a gorilla would be able to take out probably the first 30 to 50 men. And then after that, it would just be so gassed that the humans, because we are intellectual creatures, we'd be able to coordinate together and ultimately we would kill the gorilla. But it would take out about half the men is what he thought.
I vote that not Joe Rogan, Conor McGregor go first.
We got to send our best in first.
Let's send our best in first.
Sounds like he volunteered to tribute.
Yes, I think he should go
right?
first. 100%.
So,
no, that was an interesting. Did you see the other viral internet influencer thing that's been going on? Swimming with sharks.
I haven't seen this, no.
So there was an article. I don't know how much was true or not true. I'm not on the internet that much other than the 4 hours a day that I'm on the internet. All of these influencers are trying to get pictures with these big sharks. Not 2 and 3 foot sharks. We're talking 6, 8, 10, 12 foot sharks.
Okay.
And they're trying to get as close to them as can and touch them. So they'll go swim with these sharks. The guides are like, do not touch the sharks. And the influencer will go up and grab the dorsal fins of the shark and get drug along so they can get a picture and they can share that picture out on their social media. Some of them gotten bitten. One girl was down somewhere in the Maldives or Diego Garcia somewhere, and she's told, "Don't touch sharks. Touch shark. Shark bites her in the leg." I don't think I think she survived. The other one was there's a place in Israel where the shark attacks can be pretty brutal, and a guy had died on the beach.
Okay.
And a couple weeks later, there's a social media influencer. Her 2 kids are in the water, and this 6 foot shark, and the kids are little kids. I mean, from the desk high, they're 5-year-old kids. Right? Okay. So the water's maybe a foot and a half deep. The kids are around about waist deep. This 6 foot shark comes swimming at him. She's, don't move, don't move, don't move. Films the shark swim between her 2 kids. Doesn't grab the kids, doesn't get the kids, films the shark going between the 2 kids. Like, you got to be kidding me.
What kind of shark was it? Was it a nursing shark? Because it's a nursing shark, then it's not a big deal.
I couldn't tell. It wasn't a great white shark, and it wasn't a hammer. I mean, it was probably something that was like a coastal kind of shark.
Yeah. But also, you probably shouldn't. I mean, I'm not for the filming of it, but you also probably shouldn't like react in a very impulsive way, and in a dramatic way. You're supposed to stay calm with sharks. So if you just told them to stand there and don't move, that's probably the right thing to do. Yeah. But not to pull out your camera and start filming it.
Well, and there's this whole group. There's a woman free diver that's involved in it. I don't know her name. I've seen her
Ocean Ramsey.
Yeah. Where she's amazing. Dives with these sharks, and there was one the other day. It was a tiger shark. They all turned their back on the shark to go swim up to the boat, and the diver closest turned and looked, and as soon as they all turned, the tiger's like, "Time to go get a bite."
Stalking.
And went to go stalk. He turned and grabbed the tiger shark on the nose. And pushed it away. And I'm like, oh yeah, that always works in real life.
Well, so her situation's different, right? So Ocean Ramsey, it's awkward that I know so much about this topic, but
not really. It's on the internet and you're young. We expect you to know about this topic.
She's worked with those sharks for almost 10 years. Those tigers, they swim up to her boat when she gets out there daily and like greet her. So like they've obviously, whether it's, oh, this boat chums the water, or whether it's, oh, that's the people that swim with us every time. Who knows what the shark's thinking? There's a positive association with the sharks. And there was a whole bunch of clips going viral of like tiger shark tries to bite person on boat, but it's really Ocean Ramsey getting in the water, and the tiger, it's a female tiger that she's worked with coming up to greet her.
Yeah.
And so, they actually really, well, what they think They think they enjoy being put into tonic immobility with the nose rubs.
It's a little high.
Yeah. And so that's what she does with those tigers. And that's a lot of the reason why they swim up to her specifically. But she was the first person, all these men that were on Shark Week and these big Discovery researchers and everything, none of them would get in the water with a great white without a cage.
Yeah.
And here she comes out of nowhere and is like swimming with the largest great whites,
The pregnant one.
the pregnant one.
She was
Yeah.
with the pregnant one.
And she's free diving
I
with
don't know
them.
why I know that.
And she's it's the largest
Girl
one
in
that
a
we have.
bikini, manhandling a shark.
I don't think she was in a bikini.
She was in a wetsuit.
Yeah.
I don't think she was in a bikini.
But yeah, that pregnant one, yeah, that's swim all the way from Hawaii to Mexico's coast, by the way, which is crazy.
They put a tag on that one?
Oh yeah, it's tagged. It's the largest tagged shark in the world right now currently. There is an app you can download called Atlantic White Shark that shows you all the sharks that are tagged and where their movements are.
Is that so? It's not Ocean Research or Ocean Arch was one of them. But yeah,
I follow Atlantic White Shark. They're the ones that I follow. But yeah, it's really cool.
yeah. There was I can't remember where I went surfing. We went down to South Florida like a month and a half ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna check. And I looked up where they were pinging, and I'm like, okay, we're good. There's nothing near that beach. I'm fine.
People are terrified of sharks, but they should be way more terrified of crocodiles, alligators, hippos, rhinos. Like those are the unpredictable creatures. Sharks are pretty predictable.
Democrats.
Yeah, those are the creatures we should be most worried
throw
about.
that in there. It was
Yeah.
right there.
I'm more afraid of barracuda than I am sharks because they just don't have the same sort of behavioral tells.
Yeah.
Like you can tell when a shark is agitated and scenting the water or tasting the water for sensory information. Like they have body positions that they get in before they're going to strike and when they're trying to, scare you away from their territory. But barracudas are just stone cold and they're just still. And like you have no warning with a barracuda. And it can take you out just as much as a shark can. Like they're both cold-blooded animals, so they don't have the same kind of food motivation that a warm-blooded animal would. So that's why you don't need to be terrified of them. It's not that big of a deal. But they're just scarier to me than sharks. I've swam with sharks. I swam away from a barracuda.
Most dangerous marine animal you've been in the water with?
Most dangerous.
Humans.
Well, he said marine animal. I have shared the water with orcas, but I was on the other side of a gate. So I wasn't free swimming with orcas, but I was in the water with them on the other side. They were on the other side of a metal gate and we were like making faces and playing peekaboo with them. And it was super fun. Water's cold, but I can do cold water. But there are the ones that could absolutely take you out the easiest. But like I said, I've swam with sharks on purpose, and I'm sure by accident, just being in the ocean. Barracuda is the one that scared me more than anything. Our nurse shark, swim, we were expecting little nurse sharks, but they were full grown.
Yeah.
But
6.5, 7 foot.
Yeah, they were also obese. So they're huge, so it's intimidating, but they're also very well fed. And again, they're cold blooded, so they can't eat a ton.
Yeah.
They just don't have the metabolism to warrant that. And so, it was intimidating though. And I definitely was in the water with my kids and 6 and 7 foot
nurse sharks are the most docile shark.
Yeah, their facial structure is such that they have to really lift their head up to get you. You have to put your hand
In their
at
mouth.
their mouth
Yeah.
for them to, or in the vicinity of their mouth, which is on the underside of them. And so that was why my kids felt okay with getting in the water. They were on my back and my husband's back, so they weren't free swimming with sharks, but they were definitely in the pen with us. And all the sharks were chill. They were just swimming underneath. We were just snorkeling. So again, it's a nurse shark. It has to get in an upper position in order to bite you. So super cool.
Any word on
Mike's
hammerhead sharks?
So there are
Terrifying.
a ton of hammerhead sharks in marine land. So if you've swam in the ocean near Matanzas Pass, you have swam with hammerheads. You just didn't see them.
Yeah.
So I haven't been in the water intentionally, knowingly with hammerheads, but I've I've shared the water with them for sure.
I'm just curious. I had an encounter with a great hammerhead one time.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I know it's a great hammerhead just by the size of it.
Yeah, a great hammerhead washed up during a storm at Marineland. This predates me, but they have pictures of it. So it was a great hammerhead. He was beached during a storm, and the aquarist, having dealt with lots of sharks in shock for various reasons, because there was a time when there was a big pier off of Marineland, and whatever was cool in a fisherman's bycatch, they would come and just drop it off on the pier. And then the aquarist would decide whether to bring it home or release it back into the water. And so they had dealt with a lot of sharks that were in shock. And so what will kill a shark when it's in shock is immobility, because most sharks need to move in order to breathe. And so they get in the water with this great hammerhead whose dorsal fin is taller than two of the guys on this shark. And it was like 6 guys, and they're just walking him up and down the coast to keep him moving, to give him a chance to recover from shock and swim away, which he did do. But someone had the forethought of getting the camera out. And so there was a big poster-sized picture of a bunch of dudes that I was friends with in the water with a great hammerhead, reviving him from the shock of getting tossed about in a storm. Pretty cool.
That's really pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would not have been in the water. Would not have been. One encounter was enough. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Here's the Ocean Arch shark tracker. So you can
nice.
track they have some sea turtles on here, but they also have great white sharks that they've got tagged.
It's actually been interesting. They've been tagging a lot of other sharks. I've been tagging a lot of tiger sharks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tigers and bull sharks that they've tagged off of the Carolinas. And it's interesting to watch their kind of migratory pattern.
They've got some pilot whales on here too. Yeah, it turns out the great whites come all the way from New England down into the Gulf of Mexico. Yep. They travel way more than we knew. So
orcas too.
Are cool. Yeah,
orcas too.
For sure.
Well, and that was the other thing, is they try to figure out what the great whites eat when they're down here.
Yeah.
So there was a video week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, that had a great white juvenile chasing tarpon right near the coast in the Panhandle. Somebody had taken all the shots in the video from a drone.
Yeah.
And it was really, really cool watching them. And then the other one they said is they think that the blacktips come down here to mate.
Yeah.
And they think they're down here hunting the blacktips.
Well, right whales make the journey from New England down to the Caribbean, somewhere around the Bahamian Islands. They're not exactly sure. I don't know how. They don't know where exactly, but
they know. They're just not telling you.
And then they breed there. So what's wild is the waters in the southern part of the United States, they're kind of like a desert. There's not a ton of food for them. And so once they get to a certain point, there's nothing. They're just fasting and making babies. And then they head back up north and they start mowing out again.
Fasting and making babies. I like that. Something more of us should do.
Sounds like a book you would write or read.
And it's funny that they're right whales because they're conservative whales.
Right.
Well, there's also a shark cafe.
Sperm whales do it too.
I think there's a shark cafe in both the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. And when they found them, they didn't want to give out the location because all of these sharks that would eventually kind of run through this shark cafe, and they couldn't figure out what was there because it's in the middle of the ocean. They didn't know if it was a breeding ground, birthing ground, what it was.
Yeah.
But there's one in both oceans, and they were shocked by that they would all gather kind of around the same area.
So the reason I know about the sperm whale one is because they do sell encounters. You can go out on a boat and you can get in the water with sperm whales while they're doing their thing, and because they'll hang out and they'll like take naps sort of in this weird vertical position, so you can kind of snorkel around them while they're doing that. I wouldn't get in the water when they're super frisky, but if they're napping, then that's cool. But they don't sell anything like that for right whales. And yes, they're more endangered than sperm whales. But I've been on research grants or permits with right whale researchers, and they don't know the location. They just don't. I don't know why.
I don't know how they don't know that.
I know.
They're working with mermaids.
Yeah. They're in Atlantis.
How they don't know that
Bermuda Triangle. They go invisible.
But that's the thing. You scientists, we know everything about these animals. Like, well, where do they go? I don't know. And every day, if you like read articles that are real science, you're fine. We didn't know this. We didn't know that. We found this. We found this animal that we thought was extinct. We found this animal. We found that. We found an option. I mean, it's just, we're always learning because we still don't know that much about the planet, in my opinion.
Oh, we
just got an update from Task Force Hydra 1. They got the boats that they need now. So praise God. Continue praying for this group. This is an amazing thing that they do. So keep them in your prayers and give money to the paddlers if you can.
That's
the
awesome.
links in the comments.
100%. 100%. All right, Levi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope you continue to do a show here on the network.
That's the plan.
I know Troy is looking for content, and I told him, look, Troy, the way you look, you need all the young people you can get. So I did everything I could to sell you.
Well, I appreciate that.
But it was really fun working with you. And
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
that.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Don't beat Reese by 30 in the next game.
We do play them next game.
29 would be. Are you in the championship together?
I don't think it's a championship yet, but we're probably going to play them in the championship.
Okay.
The first game we played them, we beat them pretty bad.
I know. I got the whole rundown.
Yeah.
I got the whole rundown.
We in their defense, we just came out on fire.
They kind of mentioned that. So, yes. So, Robin, I'll miss you guys as well. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to have a really fun show tomorrow. We got some special guests coming in.
Yep.
And we got some food coming tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. We got the order in.
I'm going to get the order in here in just a
Nice.
minute. We're going to get that done. So,
Very cool.
we're going to get some wheel food in here. And it's BYOB tomorrow. So,
Yeah, go buy Browdies, get your favorite cocktail ready for tomorrow and drink with us. Make the comments go crazy.
Yep, we'll have a cheers with you guys
Awesome.
tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
guys.
Bye.